Afternoon and good evening, everyone. We're going to get started here. Thank you for joining Safetica's product roadmap update for Q2. We look forward to reviewing our latest product releases and new capabilities that'll be coming in the next few months and throughout 2026. My name is Vic Clary. I manage product marketing for Safetica. And with me today is Jan Lakatos, our Director of Product Management. And as usual, once I stop talking, Jan will go into more detail on our recent updates and upcoming innovations. And like last time, we'll try to get through this in 30 minutes. So before we get started, I have a few reminders. You've all been muted on entry. If you have a question, please use the Go to Webinar Questions tab and enter your questions there, and we'll do our best to answer them during the Q&A at the end of the session. And if we don't get to your questions, don't worry. We'll respond after the webinar by email, and then after the webinar, we'll email you links to the recording and slides for further review. So for a quick agenda, I'll give a brief Safetica intro for our new attendees and then introduce the structure of our updated solution offering. And then I'll turn the presentation over to Jan, who will discuss our roadmap in more detail, what's new, what features are next, and what's further out on the horizon. And then we'll leave you again with some additional resources and time for questions. All right, so for a quick overview of Safetica, for those of you who are new, we're a global leader in intelligent data security where we've unified DLP and insider risk management and discovery and compliance into a single platform that's powered by AI, and it's operational across on-prem and cloud environments, and is designed to help protect your most sensitive data as well as reduce both accidental and malicious insider risk and ensure compliance is met as well. So we pride ourselves in the fact that our solution is smooth and simple to integrate, and we have customers of all sizes throughout the globe in 120 different countries. All right, so let's start off with a proper introduction to our newly structured products. And Yanko, you can go ahead and advance the slide, please. Thank you. So we're excited to announce that on April 29th, we made a customer-focused shift in product strategy where we transitioned from a single product into two offerings. And while many of you know that our unified solution worked well in the past, separating out our SaaS and on-prem solutions helps us better address the dividing needs of our broad customer base. And in most cases, our core capabilities will remain the same for existing customers, but the enhancements that we've made will speed up innovation and deliver clearer value for both SaaS and on-prem users. And going forward, we now have dedicated roadmaps and product and development teams that'll focus on the needs of these two customer bases and respond to requests and innovate faster and meet a wide range of compliance and security needs. So going forward, our two offerings on the left there are Safetica Intelligent Data Security Platform, which is our SaaS solution. And you'll also hear us refer to this and also throughout the presentation too as Safetica Platform for short. And then our other offering is Safetica On-Prem. So Safetica Platform on the left, it extends data security for cloud and on-prem workloads and is powered by AI. And it's designed to provide intuitive, automated cloud-hosted protection to reduce noise, maintain agility, and highlight the risks that matter most. And it does so with a lower total cost of ownership and with clear, actionable insights, with contextual AI, fast risk remediation through automated recommendations, and reduced downtime. So it's available in 3 different plans. We have a standard plan that provides core data visibility and protection for growing orgs, and then a premium plan that delivers AI powered data security for scaling orgs. And then our enterprise plan offers enterprise grade protection and compliance. And then in comparison, Safetica On-Prem on the right is designed for highly regulated environments to help users maintain full control over security configurations and infrastructure control, compliance, and offline readiness for those who require full control over data location and storage. And it's offered in a single plan. Next slide, please. So as part of this adjustment, we migrated customers from their old plans to new plans. So before April 29th on the left, our offering was a single solution that you could use as a SaaS solution or on-prem, and we offered an Essentials and Pro plan. But now with two solutions, Safetica Platform will have a standard premium and enterprise plan, as I mentioned before. We've removed the Essentials plan altogether and renamed our Pro plan. So so now the customers who were initially using Essentials were upgraded to our new standard plan, and users on the Pro plan were migrated to Premium, and then top tier customers uh, to the Enterprise plan. And as you can see at the bottom right, Safetica On-Prem is now based on a single plan. So in this case, users that were originally on the Essentials plan will now enjoy some upgraded services. Okay, that's enough for me. Let me hand the floor over to Jan to cover our roadmap updates.
Thanks, Vic, for the introduction, and hi everyone again. Today, I am happy to announce a couple of new things that you might find in our products. We'll go through the latest changes. They are focused on data classification in majority of the cases, and you might be able to find them in your products already. Some of them are coming shortly into the product of your choice, and we'll definitely take a look at the roadmap as well. The big thing that you may have noticed in case you are using our cloud-based Safetica Intelligent Data Security platform product is the smart data classification tags that we've introduced a couple of weeks ago. Broadly, we've been testing them with selected customers for months, and we are very happy about the state they are finally in. And what these data classification tags mean for you as existing customers is basically extension of existing classification configuration and maybe continued improvement over what you detect as sensitive information. And for newly coming customers and organizations just starting with our product, it also means a faster setup when we have an intelligent algorithm that actually like goes through existing files and tries to detect files based on similarity. And it creates groupings of different documents and files that we can find and creates nominations for you to either explore or protect or also incorporate into existing data classification configurations. So again, this is something that we've built to simplify what data classification entails in every organization, and we know it's a huge task, especially at the beginning when an organization is starting out and trying to discover all the sensitive information that's spread out across the organization. With this new functionality, we offer an alternative to manual configuration, to rule-based classification setup. We simply offer an option for you to turn on the smart data classification tagging. And with that, our product automatically and intelligently scans files that it encounters. And based on selected properties and vectors that we detect in files, we find files that are similar in nature, similar in content, and we nominate them as groupings of files that can be protected or can be used for detection. And again, this is something that can either completely replace the existing manual-based configuration, which can be great at the beginning. But if you're already using our product or a different product, a third-party classification product for finding sensitive information, this detection can actually broaden the coverage of what you can already detect. And we built our algorithm in such a way that it's continuously learning and improving. So as you go forward, even if you detect 10 or 20 different groupings today, we will be actually evolving further. And the more files and data our product is able to encounter, the more nominations and more accurate groupings are detected. This feature is exclusive to our cloud-based customers, and it's been available for quite some time on the premium and enterprise product plans. And we definitely plan to keep working on it, keep improving the accuracy, the coverage, but if you choose to start using it or to try it out, your existing classification tags will remain in usage and you can already get started with using this. There is a very simple button to push in the product to activate the smart data classification capability. From that point onward, a little bit of time for the algorithm to detect enough files and learn and create different groupings. And after the groupings are created, they are visualized as smart data classification tags that are automatically applied within audit, but can also be used as standard within classification configuration rules. So this is a great new capability related to a smart way to classify files. But another alternative to classifying files is incorporating the end users into how you set up your configuration and basically empowering your organization to contribute how files are classified. And this is something we are actually reintroducing. It was available in the past in our previous versions of the product, but now it's been reworked. It's something now available on both Windows and Mac devices, and it still serves as either an alternative to other third-party user classification solutions that are out there, or it can also just easily complement your existing data classification configuration. The end user then can actually click a file and choose to classify it with selected labels that are available. Now the whole configuration gives you a lot of flexibility because the labels that you create can either be used completely for classification or they can be used as a subset of an existing data classification configuration. And it provides a lot of flexibility on what kind of labels are shown to each user, in what order they are shown, whether users are able to remove these labels or they are persistently stored within the files. And how this classification works is that it uses metadata in compatible files. However, in file types that do not support metadata headers, we also have a local solution that keeps the tag actually stored within the file while the file is still available on the protected device. And it can also complement the third-party user classification solutions, which not always support all types of file types. So again, this is something for you to explore. It can be a great alternative in case you want to empower your end users to actually contribute into data classification, or it can also strengthen your whole organizational setup in case you are using an existing solution or you are looking for additional ways how to apply classification rules to actual files across your Windows and Mac devices. This is available for both our on-premise customers and our cloud customers across the product plans. And finally, a big leap forward within our cloud data security offering is our new in-cloud file content analysis. This is an expansion over what we already had available for Microsoft 365 integration, and it's also coming for our upcoming Google Workspace integration. And what this capability ensures is that we are able to scan and protect cloud files even without any Safetica endpoint clients. And we now are able to scan files that are used in email on Exchange Online or the files which are stored on SharePoint Online or Google Drive, and we actually take a look inside the files. We can scan them the same way as we can scan files on protected endpoint devices. And based on what we find inside the files, we can evaluate whether that file sharing operation is allowed, whether that email that you've just sent should be allowed or not. Within this new service that runs on cloud, our product actually ensures certain types or limits of scans and analyzes. And basically the difference between the Safetica Premium and Enterprise product plans is between the 200 analyses per user per month compared to the 600 that is available to our enterprise customers. And again, these scan limits that I've just mentioned, the 200 and 600, these are shared across the organization. So even if you have some customers who are heavy into file sharing or file sending operations, they can be evened out by those users that are less heavy. And basically, you get a multiplication of 200 per user per month allowance that you can use across the organization. The limits you can see on the screen were designed in such a way that they don't feel like limitations, but they are just smart boundaries within which organizations should operate. And we found them that the 200 analysis covers broadly the 70% of our customers, and the 600 analysis should cover even more customers. And we don't think that additional analysis would be something super limiting to all of our customers. What we are also planning is to introduce this to additional product plans. Currently, this is only available for premium and enterprise customers, but we are working on an optional add-on that could be purchased to Safetica Standard and Safetica On-Prem customers. We are still working on that to make it available and robust for these product plans. So this is something coming throughout Q3. But stay tuned. There is also additional file content analysis plans that should be made available later, but we'll talk about them in additional webinars towards the end of the year. And since Google Workspace is mentioned here, we should also mention that Google Workspace integration is finally here. And what it does is a very similar capability what we already offered previously on SharePoint Online for Microsoft 365 customers. So what we can do is that we can audit cloud files that are shared either internally or externally from Google Drive locations. We can also log inappropriately shared cloud files as incidents. And as I mentioned on the earlier slide, we also now enrich these capabilities with new in-cloud file content scanning so that we are evaluating the audit and incident evaluation with information about how the data classification was evaluated against the set file. The general availability of this is June 2026, which is next month. This is already a capability running on many of our customers who opted to try it early, but the general availability is next month by when we plan to roll it out for every of our cloud customers and also on-prem customers. And the full data policy actions, as you know them from SharePoint Online or the endpoint devices, will be made available throughout Q3. So there are still some things that we are working on, and these will entail unsharing undesired shared cloud files, and then a policy-based automatic unsharing, which is basically our cloud response to blocking a certain action. You can imagine this easily as a user sharing a file, our product discovering that file shouldn't be shared, and automatically canceling that sharing. So very straightforward, maybe titled a little complicated on the slide, but it's basically about blocking inappropriate file shares. And to imagine how this all works and how actually our like entire cloud content analysis works, here is a little video. Here, incidentally, did on Google Drive, but you can imagine it very similarly on SharePoint Online. Let me just launch the video. So what we can see here is a Google Drive location where I have a couple of files and I can choose them to share. And here I'll share this specific file with a specific email address. You can see the sharing operation just occurred. This is a spreadsheet. I also have a document here that I will share again, not to a specific email address, but I'll create a copy link that I can freely share with anybody. And this is what the end user did on the side of the cloud. And now switching to our Safetica product, we'll travel from policies to data operations. We'll filter out the relevant operations. In this case, these are shares done on Google Drive. You can see shared with G Drive. We'll filter those did today, and here we can see the two logs. You may also notice the data classification column filled with information. So here, if we check it out, we can see that this was a file shared via G Drive. We also have details about what was included within that file. This is our new in-cloud content analysis running on the background. So regardless of whether I did this on an endpoint within a web browser or on a mobile device, we now also have the information about the data classification included. You can see what policy was applied, what was the policy action. Here we can see this was logged as an incident, and the destination differentiates between sharing with a link or sharing with a specific person or specific recipient. So again, might not be super new to customers existing who are using the SharePoint Online integration. The new thing here is recognition of data classification applied, but this is how Google customers will be able to experience our cloud data protection too. So again, great news. Let me just move forward. For our Safetica on-prem customers, the recent changes in the product allow you to utilize single sign-on experience, which had been available to our cloud customers for a long time, but now also on-prem customers are able to integrate with OAuth-based services to ensure single sign-on integration. And also we've upgraded internally for our on-prem product to support the latest SQL Server versions 2025. And the gains are within performance, and also our Express customers are able to utilize the new database limits, which are upgraded from 10 to 50 gigabytes. So we think this will be great, especially for customers trying our product for the first time with a much bigger space to play with during their trial or initial phases of the experience. And when we come back to the product plans that Vic mentioned earlier on our session, the new things available are now especially available in premium and enterprise product plans on cloud and also for on-prem. So you can see the breakdown here on the screen. The good news for our standard customers or our previously essentials, Safetica Essentials customers, is that now Safetica Standard comes as a full-blown data protection solution. So it doesn't no longer have limitations related to protection. It includes all kinds of protection actions available throughout the products. But you can see that the new capabilities are currently designed for these higher product plans. As I mentioned, the in-cloud file content analysis is also coming to standard and on-prem later, but at the moment they are available as per the slide you can see on the screen. If you are curious about the product plans in bigger detail, please do visit safetica.com/pricing for a detailed breakdown of the different product plans and the changes that apply between them. And there's actually one more thing I wanted to mention because I saw it in practice just a few days ago and I was too excited not to share it here. It's not something you will find in the product immediately, but it's something we've been working on, and it's something coming to the product very soon. We are working on a new context layer that will be visualized as a Safetica chat that you can take with our product. Again, not something super unique that you may not have seen before, but it makes a great interface for consuming specific information. On the screen, you can see two examples of simple questions you may ask when starting out with the product. I'm a new IT admin. Where do I get started? And our chat will be able to guide you through the product and give you hints on where to get started. Or it also is connected to our documentation and can guide you through unknown features and capabilities. Or different examples are doing investigations without actually like interacting with the user interface and just asking simple questions with natural language processing. So here you can easily see like examples of you want to focus on the 10 most important things. Where do I get started and what they are? Or someone is asking you to investigate a specific user and you can quickly get a summary from this chat interface. Or you need to prepare a Q1 report for your managers to actually see what were the most significant security risks, and you can just simply ask a question and get a very, very brief summary of everything. Or you can also fine-tune your existing configuration within this interface. You can find inefficient policies, duplicates that don't really apply and work. Maybe you can get rid of them, or you can explore, for example, devices which have been inactive and you may want to remove from your environment to clean it up. We are still working on the quality of the answers because we are not very happy with that. We may also fine tune the visuals that you can see on the screen, but this is coming to the product very soon because we are too excited to keep it under the hood. So we are making it available very soon. There is no estimated time that I can share at the moment, but it should be within weeks. So stay tuned if you are a Safetica Premium or Enterprise customers, because this is something that you may notice one day in your product. And for us, it's also a preparation for a larger scale AI workflow that should be enabled within Safetica products so that you can connect your new AI tools to actually work with Safetica data and prepare visualizations and reports with data pulled actually from our product to create a better integration with modern IT stacks. But what's on the horizon besides just this chat functionality is that we have big plans within our roadmap. What we want to focus on for the platform product is to extend our protection to AI and cloud data. So all of you asking for protection of AI services and tools, yes, we are working on this. We are also like investing further into things that we just introduced today, that's smart classification and Google Drive capabilities. And also, as I mentioned, the Safety Cut Chat is just version 1, and we will be continuing to invest into the layer of data consumptions through AI. What we are building later is also AI tool protection on the web, not just the devices that are protected. You can read about the other topics we want to cover, which basically entail smart classification, extensions, also data security posture management with its cloud workspaces, and also further options to operationalize our product within AI workflows. For our on-prem products, many things still overlap, so you can also expect AI tool protection for on-premise. We also plan to introduce basic MCP API for AI operating stacks, and we are also enhancing the product and existing capabilities with better TrueType detection, improved instant messaging management, and also we are addressing a lot of feedback coming for device management and the way you can manage endpoints today. So stay tuned if this has been a pain point for you. We are very much focused on that, and hopefully we will see the first fruit of our effort very shortly. Similar to Admin Trail, which had received a lot of feedback, we are working on improving the logs and integrate them with CM solutions so that you can take a look at what your Safetica admins are doing also outside of our product. And these things are both coming for the on-prem and AR product on platform because they kind of like meet in the middle within what we offer in general. And that's it for the roadmap slide. So giving the word back to Vic, and in the meantime, I'll check out the questions posed in the chat. So Vic, back
Yeah,
to you.
Yeah, thanks, Yanko. Great stuff. Before we get to questions, I wanted to point you to some additional reading. We've published an FAQ on our solutions changes, and I'll include a link to it in the follow-up email. You can get it through the slides here as well, but you'll get a follow-up email here within the next 24, 48 hours. Also, I encourage you to check out the website and visit our new platform and on-prem pages if you have questions about that. They're easy to find. Just visit safetica.com and click on the products menu and you'll find links to both. And then also, if you want more details, like more feature detail on the plan, you as Yanko mentioned earlier, you can visit the pricing page, and it includes a detailed side-by-side product plan capabilities matrix. So, I encourage you to check all that stuff out. Yeah, next slide, please. We'll get to questions. That's all we have, folks. Let's see what we have here. We have a few questions here. First question: when will all of the functionality included in Google Workspace be available? Do you have a rough timeline?
So again, Google Workspace is something that some customers can already see. The rest of you will see within June this year. And again, I mentioned some of the policy responses, policy actions will be made available throughout Q3. So by September, I believe we are planning to have the full functionality there. But that's not the end for Google. We know that there are additional things we could do. We will be still investing, but the things mentioned today should be made available throughout June and summer all the way until September.
Great. As part of the new structure, will my pricing change as an existing customer?
So you could see some migration paths from old products to the new ones, and basically the pricing did not change for you, and it remains valid for the rest of your subscription period. Then at the end of that subscription period, you will have to evaluate your options because the pricing has been updated in general. But that's something that you can discuss with your appropriate Safetica partner.
Excellent. You see anything else in here? Let's
There
see.
are two questions that may be nice to answer live. One is that whether Safetica on-prem solution will support Google Workspace security. Yes, Google is also coming to on-prem. Again, as I mentioned, the in-cloud content analysis is something that will not yet work for on-premise, but that will also become an option. So yes, all the Google Workspace functionality you could see today, I believe by September, it should be made available also for on-premise fully. And there was one more question about on-prem. What about on-prem including AI context analysis? Unfortunately, the way we build our Safetica chat requires online services that are running in cloud, so that's not something that we plan to introduce for on-prem. However, you could also see that for on-prem, we do plan to prepare some MCPs so that you can actually incorporate your on-prem installation into some chat-based workflows or AI-based workflows in the future.
Excellent. All right. I know we're a minute over here, folks. I really appreciate you all hanging on. If we didn't get to your question, we'll respond by email. And if you didn't ask a question, you can always ask through our feedback forms as well. They're located in the product console at any time. So feel free to use them, or don't even hesitate to reach out at product@safetica.com, and the product team will respond directly to you. So thanks again for joining us. And within the next day or two, look for our follow-up email, which will include the links to the recording and the FAQ and the slides. And we really appreciate you joining us. Have a great day and evening. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.